Hello everyone, Bev here, Clarko Vision, and I just thought this afternoon I would come on and do an update video because I've not done that for a while. Excuse me, I am working on a follow-up to the last video I did as well. But I thought I've got a bunch of stuff that's been sitting for a while. I thought I'll just do that and I can get it filed away in places. So I'm gonna just try try and go through this as quickly as I can. We'll see. I've got quite a few things to show. So I'll just get on with it and show you what I've picked up over the kind of last sort of half a yearish, probably it is, something like that, maybe quarter, third of a year or something. Anyway, so let's get on with it. I'll start with the vinyl. I've got CDs as well. I picked up a second copy of Moonglow, which is one of my absolute favourite albums of all time now. Brand new and sealed for 12 quid. I thought that was not to be sniffed at by any means, so I thought second copy on vinyl. I think I've got 2 CDs as well, just as an extra copy. So Avantasia's Moonglow, superb. This is a new 2023 release, and it's kind of a new band. Rage and Fire, they're called. They're out of Greece. No, they're out of Portugal. Am I right? Let me just think. Oh. I think they're out of Portugal. Yes, because this band is made up from members of a band called Raven Sire. I have one of their records as well. That band disbanded. They came out under the new wave of traditional metal umbrella. I've got one of their albums, really good kind of modern metal, traditional metal, and they disbanded, and this band formed out of some of the members from that band, Rage and Fire. That's a similar sounding name, I guess. This is their debut album, The Last Wolf, yep. And again, it's just modern, traditional heavy metal, really good sounding stuff. They're out on No Remorse Records, and I ordered this for the No Remorse website. So it's a nice kind of glossy, shiny sleeve actually, this one. You get an inner sheet with the band details here and lyrics, and you also get your record, which is in this case just a nice black vinyl, but really good traditional modern metal. Definitely worth checking out, people. Rage and Fire. Another 2023, let me just grab it here. Another 23 release, which is only my second, the second album I own with this band, Primal Fear. It is their new 2023 release called Code Red, out on Atomic Fire, and I decided to go for, I don't know why, I just decided to order the vinyl copy. I have their previous album on CD, and this is on transparent red. It's in a gatefold sleeve. And obviously this is Ralph Sheeper's band, lyrics etc. on here. I've had a listen to it. It's a 3-sided album, I believe. Side 4 is just etched with a band logo, which I'll actually show you that one instead of sides 1 and 2. See if we can make it out. So there is your side C there, and it has the kind of primal, I don't know how well, it's a case of getting it in the light there. Primal Fear and Code Red, and a kind of a shield type emblem on there. in its good, solid kind of power / heavy metal. Again, Ralph Sheepers, he's got a pretty phenomenal voice. Definitely up there with some of the modern top singers out there. I've only listened to it twice, I think. It's good. I quite enjoy it. I've still to make up my mind on how good I think it is. I need more listens. There's been a lot going on in my life, so stuff I'm showing here, I've listened to most of it, but there's one or two I haven't listened to, and the stuff that I have listened to, I need to go back and listen again to get more listens. But except for this one, this one, I know what this one's like, because this is, I don't know, this must be pressing number 11 or something like that of High and Dry. I discovered that this particular release was available through looking on Discogs. Now this is an Italian issue, Italian pressing of High and Dry, just released 2022. There's your Italian kind of rights label thingy there, and it does say down the bottom, distributed by D'Agostini Publishing under license from Universal Music Italia. So that basically tells you this is an Italian pressing, but everything else looks pretty much how High and Dry normally looks. It's a series they were doing, and this D'Agostini media company are running a series called the Hard and Heavy series. I don't know how many albums are in the series, but they're picking out some classic Hard and Heavy albums, and this happens to be number 28. And you get this little booklet all about, telling you about, you know, the history of the album and the band and etc. at that time, which I thought that was kind of cool, and I thought I just want to have that, you know. So you've got all this information here. For some reason as well, they seem to have pictures of Phil Collins era from Pyromania era, because he wasn't around when this album was made and released. So I don't really know what that's all about, but of course as well, the other thing is it's all in Italian. The text is all in Italian, so I can't really read it properly. But yeah, I just wanted to have it for the collection, for my Steve Clark collection. The inner sleeve is exactly like the original as well. However, this is printed on a nice stiff card. Actually, it's quite thick. It's not full-on card, but it's like a very thick paper, which is nice. And it's 180 gram vinyl. Very heavy, and it's just black, this one. I do have a recent reissue of this on, I think it came out on red vinyl. But yeah, this one is black vinyl, Italian issue, and just another addition to my Steve Clark collection. Great album, obviously. Next up, I found a really cool record. This came from a seller on Discogs. I found a copy of this. It's quite hard to get a hold of now, and it completes my discography for this band Dark Forest. Really excellent UK band. I spoke about them in my last video as well. This, I think, is it their third or fourth album? And it came out, when did it come out? Because the date is not actually on here. Bear with me, I don't know if it'll tell me somewhere. It was recorded at Hellfire Studios England in July 2013, so it would be a 2013-2014 release. Probably about 10 years old, this record now. So this is Dark Forest and The Awakening, on Cruz del Sur Records. as I say, I found it off a seller on Discogs for a decent price, in very nice condition. There is a couple of, there's a crease there, and the inner sleeve does have a couple of wear marks, and there is a seam split, but it's just kind of minor. It is an actual inner sleeve, this one, believe it or not just a sheet. And you have the band here and lyrics, etc. as well. And I played the record. There's a couple of surface marks on it, but nothing that affects the play, which is fine. So as far as I'm concerned, this is an excellent copy. And so that, as I say, completes my discography. I've got all of the releases by this band, not all of them on vinyl. I do have a couple of CDs, but the majority are on vinyl. So I'm really chuffed again. I've had a listen to this album, and it's another excellent album. I think some people say this is one of the best out of what they've released so far. But yeah, just great modern traditional heavy metal, bit of the epic-y and minor folky elements to this band's sound. Really good stuff. So I was highly delighted with that. Now this one I need to give a thank you out to Jürgen across in Germany. I'm not really sure if he watches my channel or not, but he's getting a shout out here anyway, because that's what I'm doing. I got this record from him. He was, he had fairly recently, probably about a month or two ago now, a couple of months back, was selling off some of his collection. And I watched through just to see, not really expecting there to be much of my taste, because I know he's got a lot of a heavier kind of collection than me, but to my amazement and surprise, this was one of the records he was selling, and this was on my wants list. Now this band, the album is Crystal Night, and the band is Crystal Night. It's self-titled. And I never knew much about them until I discovered them on YouTube one day, just randomly browsing. This is from the 80s. I think this originally came out in 1984, something like that. So it's an original 80s record. And it was reissued by No Remorse Records again. And so to get the original pressing is very, very hard, because there's not many of them around, and No Remorse pressed a limited amount, and they've all sold out. So again, even the reissue was extremely hard to find. So seeing this in Jürgen's collection, I duly inquired about it with the help of Metal Mickey, because I didn't have a contact for Jürgen, but he put me in touch, relayed some messages, and got it sent over. So fantastic. I'm delighted. It's in beautiful condition as well. You just get it's a single-sided sheet, this one, with the lyrics, etc, etc. And I don't know. Yeah, it says here, Crystal Night's album was originally released in 1985, not 5, on vinyl record copies. 500 copies back then, so it was limited back then, hence the rarity of it, I guess. And this one was reissued, I think, in well, it's been mastered for vinyl, etc. at Temple of Disharmony in 2015, so the reissue would come out around then. But again, it's just classic 80s kind of heavy metal. When I heard it on YouTube, I liked the sound of it. I thought, that sounds really interesting, really good. Plus, I just thought it was an interesting band name and something that would be nice to have in the collection as well. So yeah, beautiful record. I'm not sure what to make of the cover. It's kind of like somebody drew something in school or something, you know. But yeah, it kind of works. I guess he's a knight of some some sort, this character here. But yeah, I thought it was just pretty cool. And a really good heavy metal album. So thank you very much to Jurgen, Metal Mickey, and also Johnny Mac, because he also ordered stuff from Jurgen, and because I was just ordering the one, I asked, could you just pop it in with Johnny's stuff, and I asked if Johnny would forward it on to me, and he did. So that was excellent all round. Just really chuffed to get this. Another one off the wants list. So next up, this is a reissued album as well, but it's the first time it was pressed on vinyl. This is not heavy metal either. This is, they are an American band called the Connells, and this album is called Ring, and I have it on CD. I got the original on CD, and it came out originally in 1993, this album. And they released the song 74-75, was released as a single, and it became a bit of a hit here in the UK. It's a lovely song, actually. It's just a nice kind of, I want to say acoustic-y song, but it's played on there is electric guitars, but it's all on the clean tones. There's no distortion or that kind of thing. But the album, they're kind of described as alternative rock, American alternative rock or something like that. And I guess they possibly are, but I actually got the album, liked the whole album, really enjoy this. And since I got a couple of their earlier albums from the late 80s, I also have them on vinyl, which is fantastic. I think they're original pressings as well, because they were pressed on vinyl. In the 90s, this was obviously not pressed on vinyl, and I just discovered recently that it had been reissued on vinyl this year, 2023, in its own Craft Recordings, a division of Concord. Not really familiar, but gatefold sleeve as well, so you've got the lyrics to the songs there. But yeah, it's just another album I really enjoy. One of the surprise albums from the 90s that I did like here. That was the Hype sticker, which I've just put onto the inner sleeve, and it says the breakthrough album featuring global smash hit 74-75, first ever wide vinyl release, so it's kind of internationally released, and it's just on a nice black vinyl again. Very nice indeed. Yeah, so as soon as I discovered that was out on vinyl, I thought, oh, I need to have a copy on record, on vinyl. Just got to have that, so I'm very pleased with that. How are we doing with the records here? We've got 3 more to show. The next 2 are a couple of originals, a couple of OGs. Found this. So I recently got into the band Elixir, not too long ago. I got one of their most recent releases on CD, and then I found a vinyl copy of their debut album. I think it was their debut album from back in the 80s, but that was a reissue, so I picked that up, really liked it, and I found this one for a nice price on eBay. So this is, what's this one called? Lethal Potion. They don't actually have the name on the front, but the album is called Lethal Potion by Elixir. They are a British band, I think. I'm sure they're British. I hope they're British, otherwise I'm rambling a load of nonsense here, but I'm pretty sure they are. Yeah, they are British. There's the original sticker here, which features Clive Burr of Iron Maiden. Original, was he the drummer? Yeah. So yeah, and it's in really nice condition. It's on Sonic Records. 1990 this came out. And you have a nice inner sleeve with the lyrics and some credits here. I still need to put this in a polylined sleeve. I can't believe I've not done that yet, but I have given it a little bit of a clean. So yeah, Sonic Records. Never heard of that label either, but there you go. And it's in super condition. Yeah, definitely UK pressing, just so really nice, excellent stuff. And this is another band that as I say, I've only recently discovered them, but they're kind of like traditional heavy metal, and really enjoyable, so I am very happy to have discovered that. Nice to get an OG as well, when you can get them, obviously. And another OG, when I was on holiday back in the summer, I did a tour of the charity shops around the town, and much to my surprise, I discovered this, which was on my wants list as well. The band Petra, who pretty much, Tim Line, who used to do videos, I don't think he really does videos anymore, he would do some videos, and he introduced me to this band. So they're a kind of a Christian rock band. They have been around since, I think, the 70s originally. Certainly the early 80s anyway, but I'm sure they started in the 70s. And I like some of their 80s stuff. I have, I think, 3 of the records from the 80s, and this was another one on my wants list, and I saw it in the local Oxfam shop. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, this is brilliant. It's actually one that I don't have and one that I'm after. So Petra's On Fire, on the Star Song label, and this one is from 1988, and it's in very nice condition, I might add. So I was very pleased about that. And again, it comes with its original inner sheet, this one, with lyrics etc. on here. And again, the record was in really nice condition. There's the Star Song, which I think is a Christian band label. So yeah, very nice condition. Nice price as well. Nice score from the charity shop. So very happy with that. And the last of the vinyl, this last one I'm going to show is another brand new release from this year. It's 500 copies on crystal clear. I mean, I ordered this one off, was it Amazon I got this one off, so I wasn't sure what the colour was going to be when it came, because it didn't actually state that, it just said coloured vinyl, and so it's crystal clear, which isn't really a colour anyway. But this is another 2023 release on Fire Flash Records, which I believe must be a German label because they have a German address down here. So the band is Tail Gunner, and the album is called Guns for Hire. Another modern, new, traditional heavy metal band. Sampled them on Facebook, sorry. Sampled them on YouTube, as I do with most of them. Liked what I heard. Decided I would pick up a copy of this. Yeah, so this is one of the ones, this is one of the few that I still have not listened to. I've had it for about a month. Not managed to get around to listening to this one yet. Lyrics, credits, blah de blah. And here's your crystal clear, which some of them are clearer than others. This is quite clear, I guess, when you look at it more closely. So yeah, and the Fire Flash label comes with a polyline sleeve. Most of them now not everybody, but most of them seem to be using the polylined sleeves. So that's the records. Onto the CDs. Again, I picked up a while ago Eclipse's latest release, which is called Megalomanium. So Eclipse, I have sung this band's praises for a while. They're a very melodic hard rock band out of Sweden. Very upbeat and catchy, feel-good music that they produce. And I tend to just, whenever I hear they're releasing an album, I tend to buy it. So yeah, this is the first one by them, which has come on that the kind of card sleeve. This one, it's got like a pocket where the CD will sit in this time, and no, it didn't come in the poly-lined inner. I added that myself. But I actually ordered this from Amazon, and when it came, the actual CD on the playing side had some scuffs, and I thought, I'm not prepared to accept that. Even if it is a CD, it's got some scuffs on the playing surface. It's meant to be brand new. I don't know if that was a result of the packaging or not, or if it's just happened, because CDs are generally quite hard wearing, as we know. And the booklet sits in a pocket as well. But I sent it back for a replacement, and the replacement was fine. So, but yeah, the one thing I would say about Eclipse, when I got this record, I have listened to it, and I would say that there's a mild crease there. See, I don't know how hard wearing these card sleeves are going to be. Although, you know, your record comes in a card sleeve, so I guess if you take good enough care, it should last you fairly well. But anyway, as I was saying, so this record from Eclipse, again, it's good. It is very much Eclipse's style, more of the same solid guitar, chunky guitar, melodic, sing-along kind of stuff. However, what I would say is they're now beginning to, I think, just start to sound a little bit samey. Too samey for me. It's more of the same, which is not a bad thing, but again, this album I feel is more like a collection of leftovers from their previous release, which I did prefer. I preferred their last one, Wired, to this one. But there is still some decent tracks on here, but they just gotta watch. They're just becoming a little bit boring, if you like, for me. So that's Eclipse. Another one, this band I really like, and it was Jim Davies that introduced me to these guys. He sent me one of their earlier CDs, which I really enjoyed. They're out of Germany, this band, Winter Storm, and they're kind of, how would you describe them? They're kind of a power / heavy metal with a hint of folk metal elements to their sound. They're just a little bit different from your standard kind of power metal, which is nice, because a lot of the power metal, again, it can sound a bit samey, so I try to latch onto bands that have a little bit of variation in their sound, and this is a band that I quite like, so I did want to get the record, but I thought I'll just get the CD, and just in case it's not amazing, or plus to save money, you know, I'm considering CDs more because of the price factor now. At the same time, I'm not hugely into the digis and the card sleeves, but I'm afraid I think it's going to be the way of the future, so I think we're going to eventually say goodbye to the jewel case. But this is a digi sleeve, so you have the plastic tray, which I think is better. Obviously, as far as housing the CD goes, you have your booklet just slots in the side here. So you've got 11 tracks on here, and again, it's just a nice, good quality music, power kind of heavy metal, with touch of folky elements about it, but nothing too much. So that's Winter Storm and Everfrost. A local band, a Scottish band called Tantrum, have released a new album this year, 2023 release. This is their new album called Another Life. I recently, well, not too long ago, picked up an EP that they had released prior to this, and I picked up their debut on vinyl. Liked the music, thought it was pretty decent stuff, but them being quite local as well, I wanted to support them, so I picked this up as well from their Bandcamp, and it's not too long been released. So Another Life, I think they're based sort of through the west now, Glasgow area, whereas I think when they originally started out they were from Edinburgh, but they've had lineup changes, so I think they're predominantly based through in Glasgow-ish area. So yeah, this is just, again, new, modern, traditional heavy metal. It's really good stuff. And it's just your jewel case CD, so really good, definitely worth checking out. Another good band to support. Another 2023 release, this is on Frontiers, and this band is fantastic. They're out of, I think they're out of Brazil. I hope that's right, I'm sure they're out of Brazil. They're called Icon of Sin. This is their second album. I have the first one. This is called Legends, and if you are an Iron Maiden worshipper, you should like this, because this band is Iron Maiden worship. They are another band who sound very much like Iron Maiden. The singer sounds like Bruce Dickinson. His vocal style, the band's musical style is very Iron Maiden based and inspired. And really good music as well. This is one I have yet to listen to the whole album. I've just not got around to it yet, but they are excellent and definitely worth your time if you don't mind bands that worship and sound and pay tribute to Iron Maiden. Pretty cool artwork as well, and yeah, it's on Frontiers. Excellent. So another one I picked up from the charity shops, and I just picked it up just because of more the nostalgia than anything else, was a CD single, Metallica's One. I spotted this, and what was more interesting from a personal or local perspective is this sticky label on it, Radio 4th Library, which indicates, obviously, and there's a library catalogue number, obviously. This has obviously come from our local radio station's old library when they had physical media in it. They obviously had a clear out and donated it all to the charity shops, because they definitely had a few CD singles and stuff in there, and this was the only one that I thought was interesting enough to buy. So Metallica's One from the Justice album, 1988. It's the 3-track CD. You've got 2 live tracks on here, For Whom the Bell Tolls and Welcome Home, Sanitarium. And yeah, so this was probably played a couple of times or a few times on the old Edinburgh Rock programme that they used to do weekly on Radio 4th. that I listen to, and you know, it's one of the early CD singles where it's really just a 3-inch CD on a 5-inch sized disc. But yeah, so I just thought I'm going to have that out. I'm still deliberating whether to remove the Radio 4th sticker or stickers, or to keep it for nostalgia reasons, because our local radio it's changed. It's not what it used to be, obviously. But yeah, I thought that was a really nice find. I do like that song now. When it came out back in the day, I was horrified with it because it just sounded like a noise at the time. But no, I quite like that song now. So 2 more to go. We have VC's very own Josh Keesh. So he has, as some of you may know, he released part 2 of his EP series, which is Warrior in the Clouds, part 2. I have the first one as well. Yeah, just released, I think it was September. And you've got 6 tracks on here. Sorry for the glare there. I'm hoping you might be able to read a bit of that. So yeah, Josh has himself on his YouTube channel, which you can look at. Explained a lot about this in detail. How he went about the recording. You know, his thoughts and stuff when he was doing it all. He has a limited number of 40, so, and he's signed it. Yes, what I will say about this is, when I got it, I listened to it and really enjoyed it, so much so that I listened to it again immediately. So I listened to it twice in a row when I first got it, and it does showcase all of Josh's styles and influences, but like the first one, there's quite a lot of different styles in all these 6 tracks. You've got some acoustic stuff in here as well, you've got some virtuoso stuff, you've got your death metal, you've got your standard metal, you've got a bit of hard rock, you've just really got a nice mix, and I think he's a very accomplished guitar player. I don't know, his music's really well written, it's just really nicely done, and I do hope he continues to keep being creative, and I think we should all encourage these guys, obviously. You know, there's a few of them out there in the VC, Mark G and his band, and Mr. Boulder, James and his bands. Yeah, just encourage you all to keep on doing your thing. Good stuff, and I highly recommend you check this out as well. So awesome stuff, Josh. Thank you very much for that. Last one is just a new discovery the other week. Again, they're a new band, a young band out of Britain again. They're based in Leeds, down in England, and they're called Offended. I stumbled across them again on YouTube. They have just released a new single, and that's what I picked up on first, because they've got an up-and-coming album coming out later this year. I think it's November it's due out, and I will be ordering a copy of that. This is their debut album, and it's called Welcome to Nowhere. It's an 8-track album, and it's, you can see there, 43 odd minutes. Now, they're described on their Bandcamp as progressive metal or progressive rock, and I would say, yes, there's an element of that in places, but because I'm not too big on the proggy style, or the proggy side of things, that tend to have the potential to turn me away, but not where this band's concerned, because I don't think there's enough of the prog in it to turn me away. I think this is kind of a modern traditional type of metal, hints of the epic and hints of progressive in there. They kind of got a mysterious kind of vibe to some of their songs. We have a couple of longer tracks on here. One's 9 minutes and one's 8 minutes. The Fool's Demise is the one that the album ends with, and the title track, Welcome to Nowhere. They're excellent songs, and the guitar player, really good, excellent guitar work on this album as well. It's another band I would recommend. Obviously they are, I don't know if they're unsigned. It does say Templegate Records on the back, but I think it's self-released. I couldn't find anything online about Templegate Records, so I don't know what the deal is. But again, looking at this, you wouldn't think it would be a metal band just going by the colour schemes and all that. And there's pictures of the band here. They're female fronted as well, I might add. The singer is a lady, and you've got a drummer, and the guitar player does all the guitars, bass, keyboards, etc. Extra stuff like that. Picture CD, autographed. The booklet has lyrics inside it as well. It is an actual booklet you get with it as well. I got this off their Bandcamp, and fantastic. Another just newly discovered gem of a band from Leeds. So again, people, get out there, have a listen. They're on YouTube. See what you think. And if you like what you hear, support them. That's what I would say to all these bands. So that is my update video. It's a bit long, again, sorry about that, but maybe if you get me in not so frequently, it's going to be a little bit longer, kind of thing. But that's kind of what I've got just now. I've got a couple of things on pre-order, not as much as I normally would. I will be buying stuff further down the line as well, but I'm kind of just trying to keep track of the pennies and stuff like that at the moment. But there you go. So I hope you enjoy checking out what I've added recently. Feel free to check out the bands or put any messages about them below if you know anything yourself, what you think, etc. Blah blah blah. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later on in another video. Bye just now.